want to tell you something.
Closer.
Yeah, a little bit closer.
Hi.
Hi.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Don't you ever with me and alcohol. Got it?
Oh, you got a problem with that, nerd? I'll throw a fireball in your face, because I'm a wizard.
So they were able to get him to the hospital in time.
Yes, he's in the intensive care ward at Our Lady of the Worthless Nerve.
Oh, we've discussed this. Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Hey, why can't we be Universe A?
Yeah! We called it first. Besides, this place kind of feels like a bee, you know?
You have my sister. If not, would you like a margarita?
Yeah, and when I see freaks in the street, I never, ever stare at them. And yet I'm careful not to look away, see, because I want to make the freaks feel comfortable.
There's no crying! There's no crying in baseball!
You're listening to Comic Can Coozie, your weekly podcast for all your geeky garbage, kitschy comedy, and nerdy news. I'm Cole.
And I am Adam.
Adam, how are you today?
Doing okay.
Yeah?
Right now, I've had some of my homemade cider.
Yeah.
And
how is it?
It tastes like shit.
Oh, okay.
It's okay, actually.
I'm glad I'm not drinking tonight.
Because I think by color-wise... Damn it. Color-wise, it's cloudy.
It looks kind of like a summer shandy, that color. But you're right, it is a little cloudier.
But that's what I'm getting flavor-wise off of it as well, is it doesn't taste like a cider. It tastes more like a beer that has
fruit,
like a sour taste to it, like a sour beer.
Okay.
So it has a little fizz in it. So it carbonated a little bit. It's not the worst. I can say it's not the worst beer I've ever had.
Okay.
But it's definitely not the best. But for
your first try.
For a first try, and really like a $3.50 investment for a gallon.
All right.
Not too bad.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
So I'll try again. I think it could be sweeter.
Yeah.
So I'll toss in a little sugar the next time and maybe try something other than like a baking yeast that I threw in there. Maybe I'll actually buy like a wine yeast or something to try it out and see if that makes a difference. And I'll put some more, maybe some, I think you had suggested before, some cinnamon sticks or something like that.
All right.
So I'll try to see if I can actually make it more cidery by sweetening it up.
Okay.
And I'll try to ferment it a little longer to get it more fizzy too.
Speaking of beer,
yeah.
So Taylor and I, we recorded a podcast that's going to come out later this week. We recorded for like an hour and a half, so we were actually planning on breaking it up into 3 different podcasts and just releasing them one on like Thursday, one Friday, and one on Saturday or something along those lines, right?
Yeah.
Because it was super, super long. It was a lot of fun to do, but while we were doing it, Taylor had mentioned that he had gone to Buffalo Commons last week.
Okay.
And him and I have been planning to go there.
That's the one in Mandan.
On the strip in Mandan.
Okay, I haven't been there
Him
yet.
and I have been planning to go there for a while now, but I just never have the right, because they're only open on like 3 days of the week.
Okay.
And I'm never off on those 3 days, but I'm going to be off on this Saturday. We're going to head over there if you want to come with us.
All right. I might be available. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So we should be doing that probably around 5 or 6 in the afternoon. They're only open till like 9. So
I've seen a few posts about them. Did they bring in a food truck or
they
something? Do they run the food truck or it's someone else?
No, it's normally something called, I think it's like Das Mountain Food Truck or something.
Yeah, okay.
That's normally the one.
Yeah, okay.
But sometimes they bring in a different one.
Sure.
My parents happen to like it when they bring in other ones more.
Okay.
But yeah, that Das Mountain, for what you're paying, I'm happy with what you get. It's it's not the greatest food in the world, but it's pretty cheap and it's pretty good.
Well, it's just nice that there's a food option.
Yeah.
Because I don't like it if you go to a bar and there's no food options there.
And when the only food option is frozen pizza, you kind of wish there was something more.
Yeah, but even frozen pizza is better than
Nothing. Yeah.
You know, at least
certainly, you're right.
Yeah, at least there's some option because at some point you get hungry.
Yeah.
And it helps with your alcohol consumption
Yeah,
anyway.
for
so,
sure.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll consider going.
Cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So, like I said, we recorded in his garage the other night. We were planning on doing that tonight too, and this last hour has been super frustrating.
Yeah.
Taylor was supposed to get off of work over an hour ago, and he got stuck there until about half an hour ago. He's just not in the mood to. We were gonna record in his garage again.
Yeah.
He's just not in the mood to do it at all tonight,
Which is a bummer. I was excited to record in his garage.
Yeah.
A different setting I thought would have been a nice
And
change.
Today has been somewhat chilly, and then once the sun started going down, like the temperature just kind of evened out.
Yeah.
So it would have been a really nice night to do it because it was a little bit of breezy and stuff, and all that kind of went away once the sun went down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we got locked out of this computer for about the past hour, and we kept trying to get back in, and then I didn't do anything, and it suddenly just let us in.
Yeah, you clicked back a couple of times, and Shazam, it worked.
I was getting super frustrated. I was trying really hard not to convey that, but inside my blood was boiling.
You're a hacker now.
Yeah, I guess. So I'm happy that we're doing this.
Yeah, all right.
Unfortunately, I told you the one fun story, but
well, I mean, I guess our listeners haven't heard it.
All right.
So why not throw it out there?
All right. So you were talking about how you just got a new skateboard deck and you're putting it together, and it reminded me of this story.
Yeah, I decided to order myself an old school deck and get riding again. And I went with the old school one because I'm not going to try as many tricks because I don't want to break anything.
Because you're like 400 years old now.
Correct.
Yes.
And I need my arms and legs
yes.
in order to work.
Yes.
So
that reminded me of this story. This professional skater, Sean Hoover, was trying to board an airplane last Wednesday, and his only carry-on was his skateboard, which hadn't been an issue for him getting on other airlines.
Yeah.
But this time he's on Spirit Airlines, and they said your board is too long, and we need to charge you $89 because it won't fit in
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah. And we need to charge you $89 to bring his skateboard onto the plane.
I'm pretty sure
because it's too long.
You could put a skate deck in the overhead compartment, and a suitcase could go
on
over
top
the top
of
of
it,
it, and it would fit fine. It could fit under a seat easily.
But because this guy is a fucking hero, he puts his board on the ground and just snaps it in half. And they're like, that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
And well, one of them is, and the other one's like, fuck yeah, dude, good job. Like, he's like, yeah, fits in the overhead now. I'm a pro skater. I get free decks anyway. All I really care about is the trucks and the wheels because that's the expensive shit. So he doesn't have to pay to get onto the to get his skateboard onto the plane. Spirit Airlines is out $89. He gets a free deck, and the flight attendant saw him do it, and she gave his kids a whole bunch of free candy. So
I wonder what kind of candy they serve on Spirit Airlines.
He showed a picture of the candy that he got.
Yeah,
it was like M&Ms and stuff. It was like name brand.
I want some gummy worms.
Oh, I like gummy worms.
Yeah,
I don't really care for candy, but when I do, like if I stop at a gas station, on like a road trip, I'll fuck with some gummy worms.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like Skittles, or I'm not the hugest fan of M&Ms. I kind of like Reese's Pieces, the Pieces, not the peanut butter cups.
Yeah, I got you.
But I really try not to fuck with candy too much.
You know what? I liked Runts a lot as a kid.
What are Runts?
Runts are those little tiny pieces of hard. They're like just sugar balls, basically.
Okay.
You don't remember Runts at all? Huh?
Did they come in the little sleeve?
No, they came in little square boxes.
I'm thinking of Nerds. So.
Oh no! Shoot, Nerds. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't like those.
Runts are the ones that are fruit shaped. Those are actually okay.
I'm not a fan of them.
No, those are the banana ones are really good.
Yeah, you're right. Those the banana ones are the one that I can eat.
Yeah, no, nerds. Those ones I liked a lot as a kid. They hurt my teeth.
Tell me the thing about the banana flavor.
Ah, okay. So I went to the liquor store a couple weeks back, and I bought like a shooter of 99 bananas, and the gal at the counter.
That's a what's that?
That's the brand, actually. I think 99 is the brand.
Okay.
And they have like 99 bananas, 99 mangoes, whatever.
Is it like a rum or just a cordial? Or?
I don't know what to call it. It's just
a cordial then.
Yeah, but it's kind of it's a tough shot though, because it's about 50%.
Okay.
In there, so anyway, so I at the checkout I was getting it, and this gal's like, "Hey, you know that the flavor of that is based on a real banana, but they don't that banana doesn't exist anymore. It's went extinct."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, fun fact, interesting, thank you. And I went home and I started researching this banana. It exists. It's still around.
It still exists. You just can't get it in this country anymore.
Something like that. What happened was that it got this fungus.
Yeah.
And if I could think of the banana, I know I had told
Gross
you.
Michelle. You told me it last week.
You remember it too. Yes. Okay. And you could it doesn't. It's still out there, and I think you can grow it or whatever. It's just not mass produced
commercially grown because of the fungus.
Yes. They haven't figured out a way to get
protect
rid of
these
fungus.
trees.
Yes. Yeah. So the banana does exist, and I did go back in there, and I told the gal, I'm like, hey, that banana is around. And then this backup gal came, and she's like, and I was like, yeah, I looked it up. It exists. It's around, and I want to eat one real bad.
Yeah.
Because
it's on your bucket list
that
now.
Like artificial banana flavor that is based on this gross Michelle banana flavor is freaking awesome.
And the reason we started talking about this is because we were talking about how the grape flavor doesn't actually taste like a grape.
No, just like the watermelon flavor
does not taste like watermelon.
Yeah, but at least this banana flavor is
based on a real flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to taste that banana.
Grape flavor pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like when they do it in a popsicle or like a Jolly Rancher candy.
Yeah.
Because I've never had a grape that somewhat tastes like that.
No, but I mean like grape juice kind of tastes similar to it. So maybe that's like
similar,
you got to have a ton of the grapes squished up by someone's feet, put into a jar, and then you drink it. Tastes like the fake stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
So, you ever see one of those movies or those TV shows where the guy like takes way too much Viagra and then he has to go to the hospital and they got to put a needle in his dick to make the erection stop?
A boner for 4 hours and it hurts a lot and they have to go and drain it.
Yeah, and they always make it look like it's the most painful thing in the world, but I don't think it would be that bad. Like if they stuck a needle into the vein in your dick, I'll bet it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it couldn't be the worst if the boner is so painful.
Yeah,
because it's. I suppose your
I almost
capillaries in there would be losing their ability. I would think so. Or something would go wrong.
I would feel like it would almost be instantly relieving.
Well, I suppose, but it's just the idea of having a needle. If that's even how they do it, I don't know.
It's not
what
like they
actually
shove
do.
it directly into your pee hole. They're putting it into that big ass vein there.
I assume not into your pee hole.
No,
but either way, it's just the idea of a needle going into your penis.
Yeah, but I mean, I've had that. It's not that bad.
You've had a needle in your penis?
I got a tattoo down there. Ain't that bad.
Is it a rocket ship?
I don't want to say what it is, but
okay.
That's too much information.
Oh, all right. Save it for later.
So,
all right. Well, that's a different needle.
Yeah, I know it's smaller and stuff, but I mean, really, it was
this needle.
It was one of my least painful tattoos I've ever had.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
That and the upper leg.
Oh,
No,
well,
everything above the waist was worse.
Well, any other listeners out there who have penis tattoos, contact us. Comic Can Coozie at Hotmail. Is that it?
Just the Facebook one.
Okay.
I don't think we have an email address anymore. If we do, I think
I'll bet it exists. No one looks at it, though.
I'll bet the only one who has access to it would be Elijah, and he's not
probably not checking.
Come on,
yeah. Well, anyway, so contact us at Facebook and let us know about your experiences with needles in your penises.
I what I just realized this past week about our Facebook page.
What?
It's still got our old logo with Elijah on it.
Oh,
the old picture, that drawing that's down in. Yeah, that's
the caricature. Yeah,
the caricature is us. That's kind of funny.
I guess it shows how often we're on Facebook.
I've been trying to check it now.
Well, you're checking it. Well, now I guess that's why you notice that's the picture on there.
Yeah.
Well, what would we change it to?
Just the little headphones logo or whatever, or just a picture of us, me, and Taylor.
Yeah. Okay.
But
but
we're lazy and it's not.
Yeah, I was
gonna
say we're talking about it, but it's never.
It's never going to happen. The only one who would take the effort to do it is Taylor, and he's not on Facebook anymore.
Yeah,
because I don't give a shit about the picture.
Well, he's not on a personal Facebook anymore, but maybe he would access that.
Yeah, but he doesn't even know the code to his own shit, so you know.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's the same password to
what, the computer that didn't work?
Yeah.
All right. So no, it won't get changed.
No. Yeah. We're just not very good at this.
No. Oh well.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago I started watching this TV show that has not been on the air for a few years now. Called True Blood.
Oh yeah.
On HBO, and so okay, so I've never seen this, and now here's the thing. Then I was on the internet, and it said 25 shows that had disappointing endings.
Sure. Okay.
And I didn't. They put True Blood in there, but I didn't read why it's disappointing or anything.
Yeah.
But that got me kind of thinking. And then earlier we were talking about Game of Thrones, where that last season people were actively just quitting watching the show.
Sure.
Another one is Seinfeld. It's an appropriate ending that they all wind up in jail for just watching a crime and just mocking the victim.
Sure,
but the show itself, the episode itself was underwhelming.
Yeah.
And people weren't very happy about it. Do you have any shows like that where the ending just...
I don't think I have. I'll have to think about that for a while. I have shows that I'm disappointed that they only ran for a season. And then they got canceled.
Oh, the one I can think of that, where it wasn't just one season.
Yeah.
But where they ended the show on a cliffhanger and then the show was never renewed. One for me was My Name is Earl.
Sure.
Where that show, they ended it on a cliffhanger, and then there was the writer's strike, and then the show just never picked up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying there.
Yeah, there's a show called Lodge 49. I think I've talked about it a while back.
Okay, yeah.
And I loved that show. And it was all
I think it was supposed to go for 3 seasons.
Or four total, I think.
And they stopped after the third.
No, it stopped after the first.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty positive it was only the first one season, and there was 3 other seasons already written, already ready to go. And this was Paul Giamatti was in that show, and Wyatt Russell. Kurt Russell's kid.
The new Captain America from Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Before the Falcon takes off.
Correct. Yeah. And it was an awesome show, and I think, and that was an AMC show that it was aired on, and obviously it was competing with their own show of Walking Dead,
which is a show which they probably should have ended a long time ago.
They pushed way too long, and now there's so many breakout. Now there's Walking Dead stories or something,
and Fear the Walking Dead,
Fear the Walking Dead, and who knows what else they're gonna do with that show. They just keep it going. And I like zombie shows, but I stopped watching Walking Dead quite a while ago. I just was like, this is enough of this show. Not that I wouldn't pop back on it maybe at some point, but I think they could probably just cap that off at some point.
There's just a point where it was just like, this shit is too ridiculous. I can't do it anymore.
Can't you guys just get along? But anyway, back to Lodge 49. Paul Giamatti was all about it, and he was trying to shop it out to all these other networks and
the streaming
and
services,
he just couldn't
and
get it picked up. And I think for a while there, Netflix was considering it or whatnot, and they buy all sorts of garbage. So this was actually a good show. So I wish they would have, and hopefully it does, because I want to see what happens in this show.
One of those shows that they picked up, that Netflix picked up, was called Manifest, and I was like, oh well, if it was so good that they picked it up.
Oh,
and then
airplane one.
Airplane one, and I started watching it. And I was like, why would they pick this show up out of all the shows they could have? Like, this show is fucking.
Well, that one.
That's another one of those where it's like, this is too ridiculous. I just can't.
Well, that one kind of reminded me of Lost, which was another airplane related one. Because they're all trying to figure out where they are. You know, did they die or they whatever? I think Manifest, if I'm correct, they did die, but they were resurrected or something like that.
They disappeared. Their flight takes off in, like, I don't know, like 5 years ago. Yeah. And then it completely disappears off the map, and then all of a sudden it reappears and lands where it's supposed to.
That's right. But
like 5 years later or something.
But people also gained some powers or something like that. But it wasn't like superhero stuff.
They just got like these feelings that they needed to be somewhere and do stuff. And
so I remember when that came out, and I watched a little of it, and I thought, it's an okay show, but
it's another show that I really liked that got picked up by Netflix, and I was happy that it got picked up. It was Lucifer, but the ending was just underwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, thinking about, I think actually Lost was a disappointing ending.
I think that was on the. I never watched Lost, but I remember people bitching about it.
Yeah,
how it ended, and that was on that list.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty of them that are out there. Obviously, how many did that list contain?
Like 25.
Oh yeah.
One of them that was on there that, like, I remember people kind of bitching about, that I've never watched the show either. The Sopranos.
Yeah, I haven't seen any.
I remember
of that.
people at the time bitching about the ending, but now people like those fans that like watch it once every 2 years or so.
Yeah.
Like, the more they watch it, the more they enjoy the ending.
Okay.
Like, my brother's one of those people who, like, the first time he watched it, hated it, and now he watches it like once every other year or something.
He watches just the last episode?
The whole thing through,
Okay.
the whole series through, and he's like, the more times he watches it, the more he appreciates the ending.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
I've caught some of The Sopranos. I figured like it was a train that just so many people were watching it and talking about it that I figured, it's an HBO show. I could probably watch it down the road at some point and just, binge it and through the whole thing, over a month or however long. I don't know how many seasons there are. Maybe it'll take longer than that, but yeah.
I've been enjoying this show, True Blood, but now I'm like, oh, fuck. When it ends, am I going to be disappointed?
I can't remember the ending necessarily. I remember some weird stuff throughout the show, and I remember enjoying like the first couple seasons, and then it kind of going off. And this whole show is kind of weird in a sense anyway, but it goes off onto some other weird stuff where I'm like, this is kind of bullshit stuff. But
there's another show that was on the Sci-Fi Network called Being Human, and it's about a vampire, a werewolf, and a ghost all living in one house together.
Yeah, okay.
Trying to feel human, even though they're not. And have that sense of feeling like they're part of the human community or whatever.
Yeah.
And the way that ended, I thought was so almost perfect.
Okay.
Now there's two versions of it. There's an English one and an American one.
Okay.
The American one ended really well.
Yeah.
The English one, actually, they had the cast. They had their main cast for like the first 3 seasons, and then somewhere between the 3rd and 4th season, they fired everyone from the cast and just replaced them all with like side characters almost.
Oh well, that you can't really.
And
you might as well have
and
ended
it just
after
went
that.
shit went off the
that
rails.
Makes sense. Like, why would it? People gained a connection with these characters and the way they look and the actors who are playing them, and then if they just bail on everyone,
they bailed on all the storylines and all this shit, and they just brought in new people, just completely renamed them all. They didn't try to make it. They didn't try to like recast them. They just
were these
did
like
new storylines.
Was this the ghost and the vampire and the werewolf who lived across the hall?
Well, I think I believe that the werewolf had actually been introduced in an earlier season. He had been turned by that werewolf.
Okay.
And he was kind of a recurring character from what I remember.
So they just picked a few
and then
people who were in there.
Yeah, and then he just came across some vampire or something, and then they happened to find another ghost. It's so fucking stupid.
So it was the same thing, basically.
But
they just live in
a different
an apartment
house
downtown.
Yeah. It would basically, if you watch the first season of the English version and the first season of the American version, they're the same story, almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
But then the writers of the English one came out first. The writers of the American version stopped watching the English one completely.
Sure.
And so that they came up with their own ideas. So then at the second season, shit kind of starts getting wildly different.
Yeah.
I went back and watched the English one because I liked the American one so much. And so the first season was actually hard for me because it was like, oh shit, I'm just watching the same shit over and over. But the second season, things became quite a bit different.
It sounds, there's a show called Ghosts, and there's an American version that they've been, I don't know if they must have finished their season a while back, but I watched the British, the English one, and I really enjoyed it. That was the one that I was used to.
Okay.
So I haven't watched any of the American one, but I have talked to my mom about it because she's watched the American one, and I was like, okay, well, what happens in the show? And everything that she said that happened is the exact same storyline as the British one. Just the characters are slightly different, maybe more Americanized characters, but the same storyline. So I'm curious to see if the American one continues
with the same storylines or if they diverge.
Yeah, because I believe there's 3 seasons of the English one, and they're still, as far as I know, still making that show. And they've only done 1 season of the American one. So we'll see if they just keep copying it. Basically.
I had such a hard time watching the English version
Really?
because of the subtitles. I can't understand. I know they're speaking English the correct way, and that we're Americans, we've bastardized their language.
Sure.
But I don't understand what English people are saying on TV.
Okay.
The accents are so thick. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like trying to talk to a person from Indiana. I have a really hard time with that accent.
Yeah. Okay.
So I had to watch it with the subtitles. You know, I can catch the odd, few phrases and stuff, but like when they're speaking quickly and long speeches or paragraphs, I got to read it.
Really? Okay.
I have a hard time.
I haven't had any difficulty on that particular show.
I had a really hard time with The Office. I tried to watch the English version of The Office. I didn't understand a fucking thing.
Oh, yeah. Every time I watch like a Korean movie, I have to put the subtitles on. I don't understand what they're saying. It's crazy.
But that's what it is for,
Yeah, you just the accent is too much.
My favorite, one of my favorite YouTube channels is called Fact Fiend. It's this guy from England, and he basically comes out and says, like, when I'm speaking on this, he's a British guy. He's like, when I'm speaking on this isn't my real accent. if I spoke in my real, because he's from like northern England, I guess it's a very, very heavy. I guess I don't know,
lightening it up.
But he's trying to speak more like a proper British or whatever,
commoners,
so that it's more understandable for an American audience.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. So I don't know. I really like that channel. It's fun.
I'll have to check it out.
Funny
Fact
as hell.
Fiend.
Fact Fiend.
Right.
I'll send you a video about the Gimpy bush.
All right, that sounds great. I want to hear about the Gimpy bush.
Yeah.
And so everyone else should look up the Gimpy bush too.
Yeah. It's like one of the most. It's like one of these plants that is like responsible for the deaths of so many people, but it's not. It can't actually kill you. It's just so painful when you touch it, you will opt out to kill yourself.
Oh,
like because the pain will last for years and
That's
shit. So
very
I'll send you a video about it.
Wow.
I sent it to my mom, and which
she's
is funny
scared
because
of the Gimpy bush now.
which is funny because I had forgotten that he said something like the pain is like if you got it on your tongue, it would feel like going down on the alien queen, which I forgot about that line. But my mom actually sent me a text the other day about some tree, I think down in Florida or Mexico, and
was it from Fact Fiend as
no,
well?
This is a different. That's a bush. This is a tree, but the sap from the tree, if you get it on you, it will cause like it's in Mexico, the Caribbean, and southern Florida. The sap can cause these like huge blisters on you. They actually have. I think they had pictures, but now I can't find the pictures. But a single bite from its fruit can be like fatal, like and very painful as you die and shit.
Well, hopefully, with all of these things that do that, there's some insects or other animals that like eat them to control them, because otherwise, you'd think these trees and bushes would be everywhere and we'd be screwed.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, it's only in southern Florida, the Caribbean,
So
and parts of Mexico.
The heat, yeah.
Yeah. I guess indigenous people in Florida and the Caribbean would sometimes tie some of their enemies to the tree to ensure a slow and painful death. That's fucking brutal, man.
Did she say the name of that one?
What is it called?
I'm curious on that one, too. Is it called the Gimpy tree?
No.
Not the Gimpy bush.
The manchineel tree. Manchineel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, touching the bark, sap, or leaves can result in painful blisters, and a single bite of the fruit can lead to death.
The forbidden fruit.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
All right.
I guess you learned something new.
I did. I've learned. I'm smarter now.
You're smarter than the average bear.
That's right.
Who the hell is texting me at this time? Okay. Anyway, do you got anything else to talk about?
Let's close it. I told you about a movie that I watched. I'll save it for the next one.
Oh, they and them.
They them. Yeah.
Yeah. Just start talking about it.
I don't know. All right. I watched a movie called They Them. I can't remember what streaming platform it was on, but in my head, it's either Peacock or Hulu.
It's on Peacock.
It's Peacock.
I just looked it up for you.
And the one reason why I felt like watching it was because Kevin Bacon is in it. Kevin Bacon does a pretty decent job for the most part.
He's pretty awesome in pretty much everything that he's in.
Yeah. And he did fine in the movie.
There's been like a million Tremors movies, and there's only one good one.
With it, sorry,
it's
Kevin
the
Bacon.
one that he's in.
Yeah. But that's generally the story for most movies. Like the first one's pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is about a conversion camp. He's like the head guy at a conversion camp, and it's for LGBTQ plus people who are either sent there or they're all made deals or something with their parents or whatever that if you go to this camp, you will get to go to France or something like that, some sort of deal. And there's none of them really want to. There's a few of them who are like, I don't want to be this way, who actually want to convert, I guess, into being straight. But anyway, it's supposed to be a slasher movie, but the movie seems to lose its way because there's some of the people just look directly into the camera for no reason, which makes it seem like they're supposed to be connecting with the audience in some manner, but it doesn't fit. And then they do this sing-along song with they're all meeting in this cabin, and they do this sing-along, and then they start doing like a choreography and whatever, and
so you're saying you were basically saying it's a movie that had a great premise, but it just never really seemed to figure out what it was supposed to be.
Exactly. It just didn't. Some of it works.
Yeah.
But most of it doesn't.
Okay.
There's not really. I get the main storyline, but from the beginning to the end, hits way too many bumps for me to actually recommend the movie to watch.
Okay.
Which is odd for me because I usually like most everything and I want to tell people to give it a try. But this one, when they did that sing-along thing,
it takes you right out of it.
I'm like, is this now supposed to be a comedy or something? There wasn't any comedic elements anywhere else in the movie, or there wasn't any other singing points, group singing and group choreography anywhere in it. It's like it's tried to become High School Musical or something suddenly in this one point, and then it never touched anything like that again. It just made no sense. I get it was trying to show camaraderie with the campers and stuff like that, but that particular scene made zero sense to actually keep it in there, and I was like, what the hell's going on? I watched it straight through. The ending was okay. Kind of. Whatever. It just wasn't... I don't think it's worth the watch. If someone out there wants to check it out, go for it. I just don't think it was... It shouldn't... I don't think...
Wasn't your form of entertainment?
No. Not... It just... I like slasher movies.
Mm-hmm. But this didn't feel like a slasher movie to you, for the most part?
Not really. It had some good elements in it, though. A couple good twists, but not really. I still just can't recommend it.
Okay.
Which is, again, surprising for me. It just didn't work.
All
Something was wrong with it. Kevin Bacon did a fine job, though.
Oh, because he's Kevin Bacon.
Because he's still Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Let's end this.
All right. For Comic Can Coozie, I'm Cole.
And I'm Adam.